Good night, fellow punters. Mickey D back with you here on Monday evening about 7:30 with a couple for tomorrow. We had only one runner today. One was pulled out. I heard that the ground was too good, so there are plenty of opportunities with cutting the ground over the winter months for that horse. So we'll keep an eye on it. The other one wasn't off the yard, as the old saying says. King's Cut. He hasn't been a lucky pilot for us, and yet I was tempted to back the other one that he won on for Stout this evening, but I didn't. He hasn't been lucky for me. But he didn't try too hard on coming up the stretch. The bird had flown. All the money was for that horse. And he hasn't had a great record, that trainer, when he gets new horses into the stable, but he knew what he had today. There was a good few winners given out on the bus today. But first, shout out to Tom Dollard in Kilkenny. I met him in Gordon Park on Sunday. I met him in the bookie shop, and he said he was going to meet his friend from Roscommon, John Lowe. I went back down a couple of times later in the day to could have bump into them again, but I didn't see them. And I went out to the parade ring for the last couple of races. It was quieting down by then, but we might bump into each other again. AC Irish was telling people on the bus this morning he backed Moss Tucker. Adam O'Sullivan had to get help with the wheelbarrow to load it onto the bus. He had the mother load on Champ Kiley yesterday, he told us. Sean Mullen, first time he hopped on the bus, and he tipped up a 50-1 place horse there. He tipped up at 11s, I think it was second at 50s, and the 520 at Wolverhampton. So good man, Sean, keep more of them coming. Sean Hawkyard, he was telling us that McEasterby's horses was fancied, and that was consolidated by Paula Baldwin, who had one in her tracker, and Sean Westlake as well. So Reach beat an odds on shot, won at 6-1, and Iggy Higgins, Cisco Disco advised at 8-1. It won at 4-1, and Ian Miller, he had one placed at 40-1, Perfect Swiss. So a good start to the week for some of the bus. Tomorrow, I went on something similar to today with a Michael Stout horse, but Ryan Moore is riding it just fine. It's owned by the King, and he's not King Charles or what, he's just known as the King. As an owner now, and hopefully it might be his first winner. It opened at 11-4 with 365, sent to 9-4, put up at 13-8 with the green bookie, but that's not a surprise because they're chalking them up early because they're not guaranteeing the prices overnight, and then they can alter it in the morning after, you see, to see how the market develops overnight. But Just Fine is rated 91. It's down £6 to 6th. I noticed that time in the John Smith's Cup. And when they keep it in training sort of this time of the year, they're trying to get a win out of it before they put it away, or to see will they keep it in training as a 5-year-old. Ryan Moore is 2 wins out of 9 on it, and he has been placed a couple of times on it. So it should be competitive, I hope. In the 14 at Galway, there's a 2 miles 2 handicap chase, 8 declared. There's a lot of money there for the Jevry, for Gordon Elliott, but I prefer to go with Course Forum for Jeremy's Flame for Gavin Cromwell. It was 6th in the Blazers there in July at the festival, and the stamina I thought maybe stretched it a bit because I was over 2.6.5. It won beginner's chase over 2.3. It bet that good mare Dolcita by easy enough by 6 or 8 lengths. So I thought that would have a good chance tomorrow, as it's 9-4. And in the bumper tomorrow in Galway, it's a trend to have noticed down through the years that this time of the year, Noel Meade does always fairly well in bumpers for their first time out. I know Willie Mullins has won there, and there's one of, I think it's Gavin Crummel's as well. It's a 7-4 shot, but there's an each way shot at 5-1. Adorable Fury won a pint to pint, and he has good record, particularly with Jigginson horses down through the years. I noticed. I always go with Meade before Christmas, Mullins after Christmas. It's now a theory I have. It was successful enough when Meade was going way better several years back. And there's some good racing in Galway tomorrow. Before I go away from that, Durable Fury is 5-1, a pint each way. You have Hallowed Star out for the Shark tomorrow, but the Shark hasn't had a winner he hasn't even had a place or a winner in the last 21 days. It's been well over a month since they had a winner. And there's a 4-year-old there, Iberic Desailles. It's a second favourite. It's only a 4-year-old, but it ran well in Galway last year when it was in its first run when it came from France. Went to second to White Pepper. So that might take on tomorrow. And then you have a good little chase as well. You have Frontal Assault and John Snow is in it. Frontal Assault was second in the Irish Grand National. It's rated 142. So it'd be a good race between the two of them. John Snow, I was in Killarney the day it won it, a Grand Grey horse. He was never in doubt, sort of, from flagfall to finish. So there's two nice races to watch tomorrow. We'll probably get more information for the winter months between the two of them. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this evening. Over and out. Bash the bookies.